Bonnie. If you're new here with me, I just want to take a moment and try to explain how to read transits on your chart. And to be fair, I'm using a whole sign astrology chart for this, so I think it's maybe a little bit cleaner to understand, but this is my preferred method for reading charts, period. So we're going to use this. This is your beautiful birth chart. It's essentially birth chart software that lives on a web page and is available for purchase, but I'm actually in the process of making a free one, but I am in the paid version right now because I wanted to go ahead and utilize for you, showing you a little bit in the learn mode and the transits specifically is what brought me here today, but I'm using a lovely member of my Facebook group's chart here, so thank you for that. And yeah, so I'm gonna jump right into transits first. So inside the transits mode, we're looking at on the inside here we have all of your natal planets, and then on the outside are transiting kind of collective situation. And right now, Uranus, this is what we were talking about in the Facebook group, Uranus is sitting at 29 degrees of Taurus. Now, very, very soon, today's the 22nd, I'm going to jump ahead. On the 25th, oh, it must be later in the day. Yep, okay, so sometime on the 25th, 26th, Uranus is going to officially move into Gemini. So on this chart, Uranus has been making its way through this 9th house of Taurus, and it's going to move into this 10th house of Gemini. And soon, it's going to hit this particular person's MC. I don't know if you can see that fully. Let me scroll it up a little bit. Okay, so my monitor is not in the recording zone exactly because I wanted this really zoomed in so we could see it. So I'm on a massive monitor. But yeah, so when I think about, let's see, I don't even know where to begin. So we can read here. We're reading now about the 10th house. Planets transiting your 10th house. All about that. Transiting planets here now. We have Venus and Uranus both transiting this person's 10th house. And they are conjunct, so they're very close in degree, meaning they're sitting side by side, and a lot of times when that happens, the energies of those are essentially working together. Now, I want to look at some of these others so that you can just see how to read it. So Pluto over here transiting. This would be transiting which house? Her 6th house currently. This is going to be a long cycle moving through. We have Saturn and Neptune. These are freshly, more or less, in Aries. So these are outer planets that have just moved in here. And then we also have Mars, Mercury. I know right now everyone is probably aware that we had so many Aries placements, so much energy there. These are quicker. These are going to move along very quickly if we jump ahead a week. Mercury's already out of there. Mars takes a couple months. So now we're jumping ahead, and now we're in May. And we have Mars entering this Taurus 9th house. So you're reading what's happening around here. And so, for instance, let me come back like a month to more or less where we're at, maybe a week. Okay, now we have Venus sitting right on top of this person's MC. So now I want to look at, this is kind of hard to see maybe because they're like so on top of each other, but I want to look at, what else is aspecting this, because this is kind of, Venus over the MC. That's a very, Venus is carrying blessings kind of wherever she goes. Not always in an immediate sense, but it's, it's activating somehow. And so if I looked here, and I'm going to see, let's see, Venus, the sun is squaring, this is, okay, that is not the placement I'm looking for. Let's see, I have not looked in here, so I'm assessing it in real time right now. Let's see. So these are all highlighting which transits from the collective are aspecting your natal placements, meaning the ones in the center in your birth chart. So these are like, I mean, you could go into context too to see how, you know, these outer collective transits are impacting and aspecting other collective placements, but where it gets most personal is when we look at how it is directly impacting like the core of you, so your natal placements. So for instance here, once Uranus hits Gemini, it's going to be sextile her part of fortune. So Uranus moving through in your 10th house, so territory, career, and legacy is opening up a channel to your natal part of fortune in your 7th house of partnership, relationship, reflection. So, and this is a whole nother episode here to go into what each of these means. And as you can see, you know, there's a breakdown for every aspect that we're hitting. But that's how I'm reading this, is that, you know, where are these planets making their way through? And for this person, Uranus is about to hit their 10th house. For another chart, it's going to be hitting their 8th house and their 2nd house, because it depends on which house is ruled by Gemini for you. Anyway, I hope that this is somehow helpful. I feel like I went a little bit like off there. I'll go ahead and show you real quick the learning mode. So inside learning mode, this is all just your natal planets and placements. Nothing collective happening out here. And so what I love about this is these are interactive, so you can click any placement and read all about that placement. You know, what zodiac sign it sits in for you and how that, you know, kind of shapes it a little bit. The house that it sits in for you a little bit more. Understanding all of the aspects. No aspects on this one. And then a little bit of a synthesis that explains to you how to work with these together. And you can also learn about, you know, the zodiacs themselves, and all of this is kind of, it all connects and works together, and it sort of guides you through. So like when I come to this, she has no natal planets in Gemini, but if I come here in her 11th house ruled by Cancer in her chart, if I come down here in this, we have her Sun and her Mercury. You can click and go to her Mercury placement and read all about that. But this one goes really deep, just, you know, learning your birth chart. And it also goes into, I mean, this, I don't know if anybody's seen any of this yet, but this is the part that ends up, you know, you can save this as a beautiful printable PDF, or save that to your chart, your configuration. She's got a stellium, a T-square, and a mystic rectangle in her, so you can, you know, save your chart wheel or download the full report if you're on desktop. It's a very large file because it's print quality. But this is really cool. You can learn about the zodiac signs themselves a little bit. Wow, look at all that earth, no air, and almost no fire in this chart. That's pretty wild. Wow, earth and water. I feel like this makes sense from all the things that you contributed in the group. That really lands for me. This is interesting. I don't know if you've ever read the book, The Missing Element, but that might be worth checking out for you. And let's see, what was I going to show? Oh yeah, so the aspects. This part is really fun because you can grab any aspect from down here and it's going to bring you up here so that you can read about those particular aspects. It just goes so deep, it's wild. And then this, you really need this. But this is showing you, it's keeping track of which sections you've already explored and what you've missed, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, and real quick, you can change colors if you're, you know, feeling fun like that. I personally like the signature one the best, but, you know, to each their own for sure. Anyway, I hope that that transit understanding was helpful. I love this calendar because you can look ahead, And you can kind of just, at a quick glance, understand where most of the energy is concentrated in your chart and what it's hitting. And this is a powerful, powerful tool. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If you have questions, I'm happy to do a follow-up to try to explain how else you might need understanding to read your chart. But the learn mode really does a lot, because you can hover and see, okay, this is this little symbol is Saturn. And then also highlights for you, what is that aspecting? So we have a trine to Jupiter right here. We also have an opposition to Chiron, sextile Lilith. Where are you, Lilith? There she is, sextile, and opposition to her ascendant sign as well. So that's just, it really helps you, I think, get acquainted with your chart and see how all of these are interacting. Because I know a lot of times these little lines in the middle are just very hard to follow in most of the charts that I found. So I really wanted to make sure that you could, that it was educational, that it was helping you understand how all of it works together and connects. You can read specifically about each of the houses. And like I said, it all kind of links and everything. Anyway, have a good one. Thank you.